Authorities are now investigating 3 different Bay Area locations. Mountain View, where police found her sleeping in her car. South San Francisco, where it appears she practiced at a gun range hours before the attack. And the crime scene in San Bruno.
We have a team of reporters covering this story for you from the Bay Area to Southern California. We begin with KPIX 5's Joe Vazquez and the new security measures at YouTube. Joe?
Yeah, YouTube trying to get back to normal today, but it is a very somber mood here. And behind me, you can see there's a cleaning crew. They've just been arriving here in the last hour. They tell me they are here to clean up the bloody mess left behind from yesterday's shooting. There is a preoccupation today on making sure this place is safe going forward. The YouTube campus is saturated with security today, along the sidewalk at every entrance, including the parking garage, which police say is where the shooter entered the campus yesterday afternoon. Police say she parked her car next to a nearby building, accessed YouTube through the parking garage. From there, she headed to an outdoor cafe where she opened fire.
We are also revisiting this incident in detail, and we will be increasing the security we have at all of our offices worldwide to make them more secure, not only in the near term, but in the long term.
The shooter, an immigrant from Iran who came here as a refugee, never entered a building.
I'm being discriminated and filtered on YouTube, and I'm not the only one.
Nasim Aghdam made a living on social media, according to her family. From her home in Southern California, the 39-year-old often posted an eccentric mix of art, music, animal rights, and exercise videos, all of which garnered her thousands of followers. So recently, when she stopped making money through her multiple YouTube channels, her family says she got angry and accused the company of filtering and censoring her videos.
If you go and check my videos, you see that my new videos hardly get views, and my old videos that used to get many views stopped getting views.
San Bruno police now believe anger at the internet video platform was the reason she drove up here to San Bruno and opened fire on YouTube headquarters, shooting 3 random employees before turning the gun on herself.
It is believed that the suspect was upset with policies and practices of YouTube. This appears to be the motive of for this incident.
Nasim's father says she went missing earlier this week. Then Mountain View police called at 2 a.m. yesterday to tell the family they found her sleeping in the car. Hours later, police say she practiced her shooting.
Investigators also learned that the suspect went to a local gun range yesterday morning prior to visiting YouTube.
At the Jackson Arms gun range in South San Francisco this morning, Sergeant Scott Luciano and 2 other officers from the San Bruno Police Department spent hours talking with the owner. Was this the range the shooter visited? Nobody here would comment, but a neighbor and customer says the gun range workers told him they think they recognize her from yesterday.
Obviously they're in use, and then they saw her face, so they can put 1 and 1 together.
And they said they think they saw her in here?
Yes.
How did they phrase that exactly?
They believe so. They're not 100% sure, but they think so.
The police chief was asked today whether this might have been an act of terrorism. He said it just does not appear to be so at this point. Just the actions of a woman who drove up from Southern California intent on taking out her hateful grudge against YouTube and ended up shooting people she didn't even know. Reporting live, Joe Vazquez, KPIX 5.
All right, Joe, we appreciate that. Thank you. It also turns out the gunwoman had a run-in with Bay Area police the night before the shooting. KPIX 5's Kiet Do is in Mountain View with that story. Kit?
Yes, we're getting more details about when she was questioned in this parking lot just a day and a half ago. And the police chief for Mountain View says that his officers followed department procedure and did the right thing. Mountain View police were on a routine patrol of the Walmart parking lot, running license plates of parked cars when they got a hit. A white Pontiac was connected to a missing persons case in San Diego County. It was around 2 a.m. yesterday, and the officer tapped on the glass to find Nasim Aghdam inside.
She was essentially a citizen who was sleeping in her car, which is not illegal.
The officer questioned her for 20 minutes, checked her ID, and found she had no outstanding warrants. Aghdam stayed inside the car the whole time, and the police chief said there was no probable cause to search the car.
She seemed very normal, very calm, very cooperative, very relaxed. Her conduct was did not raise any concern by the officers who were on scene with her.
Mountain View Police Chief Max Bosell says she did not appear to be a danger to herself or others. Could the officer have asked her if she had a weapon?
Sure, the officer could make a number of questions. I think the questioning and the interaction that was occurring at the time, there was no real reason for that.
Mountain View PD later called the family, who confirmed there was a falling out. But then Nasim's family realized Mountain View was close to YouTube headquarters and called the police back to tell them Nasim had a long-running dispute with YouTube. A family member describes the conversation with Mountain View police.
And she had a problem with YouTube, so we called that cop again and told him that there's a reason she went all the way from San Diego to that.
But Chief Bosell says Nasim's family gave them no warnings of violence.
He didn't suggest that she was going to get revenge or get violent or anything?
There was no suggestion whatsoever of any violent outburst or intent.
We turn around, 24 hours later and we think, wow, maybe they should have detained her. For what?
KPIX 5 security analyst Jeff Harp says it appears Mountain View police acted appropriately and that law enforcement have to be wary of violating civil rights or racial profiling.
Anytime something like this happens, you can't automatically determine based on the name or nationality that a person is connected to a certain group that may have a greater propensity to do this.
The officers followed proper procedure. I do stand behind their actions, and I do believe that they acted appropriately.
And the chief says if they get any new information, they'll take that into consideration. But for now, they have no plans to change their policy or procedures. We're live in Mountain View. Kiet Do, KPIX 5.